Datta is a senior consultant psychologist. She has a master's in psychology and advanced diploma in counseling psychology. She brings 7+ years of experience with treating diverse populations, including children, adolescents, and adults. She started working with a leading psychiatrist in Delhi and continued with several other organizations. Currently, she is working as a corporate psychologist with Tata Consultancy and Your Those Solutions, where she is working on various corporate projects. She is flawlessly amazing, and with her charisma, she brings very positive changes in people. So, we have few words from Mrs. Datta?
I'm Shyamolima, and thanks for the very nice introduction. And first of all, thanks for having me here. So, as a doctor said that about suicide, she has already given a very good introduction about what encompasses suicidal thoughts and what are the ideations. So, I would also like to add to it that suicidal thoughts can afflict anyone and everyone. It is always, as she said, that it definitely has a psychological problem if somebody is facing. They are more susceptible to it. But apart from that, if somebody is vulnerable to stressful situations and they are in a very negative state of mind, already they are susceptible to it. So there are lots of triggers that actually affect a person, and the triggers can get the thoughts to mind. So that we will definitely discuss in the session, as my ma'am said. And apart from that, we will also discuss what can we as a person, as people, do to support such people and how we can help them. And also there will be further discussions. So thanks for having me here once more, and I'm looking forward to the session. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for a great start. So, Mrs. Datta, what do you think that what can be the signs that others can see in that individual who is, who wants to commit suicide or who has such thoughts? So, are there any signs which other friends can see or acknowledge? What are your views on that, Mrs. Datta?
Yes, definitely. First thing is that they can check, for example, if the friend or the acquaintance, whoever it is, they are more they have a mood swing. They are basically withdrawn because they generally get withdrawal symptoms. Sometimes then if they are generally very talkative and they are not very mingling a lot with them, or or they are generally even sometimes what happens, they mention thoughts of dying and death, or that I want to kill myself. But sometimes what people say is think that they are just seeking attention, and they take it very casually. But and they think that it is just a passing phase. Why he or she saying this is okay, but that should not be taken as a very casual thing, and they should always probe that why this person is feeling this way. And if it is really that serious, then definitely they need it's a red signal. So the necessary steps have to be taken. And apart from that, sometimes kids or even adults or the person is generally in a very happy mood. They might not even show, they're very calm and all. They have taken the decision and they're in a very calm state. So all of a sudden, if a person is almost always distressed, and then all of a sudden he or she has become very calm and composed and is okay. So that is also a signal that why such a decision, such a change in their mood. So these things definitely can give a signal to the person around them, to the people around them, that what kind. And apart from that, if as I said, their personality, if it is a very extroverted personality, they become an introvert and not speaking too much. And even introverts, sometimes what happens is they are very close to certain kind of people, and with them also they have started not talking or not picking calls if it's friends, or if even they're not talking to the parents. Sometimes they are only in their rooms and playing games or doing certain things within themselves. So that is also a trigger. So these are the basic things that can that one can make out that the person is might be having suicidal thoughts, or it in future also might take such a step.
Absolutely.
So these are the basics. Yeah.
Do you think does personality also add to this trigger? Maybe personality type of ambivert, extrovert or introvert. So
Yes.
what are your views?
Exactly, definitely personality does affect a lot, because see, if an introvert, it has been researched also, is more susceptible to it. Because see, if an ambivert or an extrovert, sometimes they still can express. Is not that they are not at risk, they are definitely at risk, but an introvert is unable to share his or her thoughts and feelings with everyone very easily. They have a very choosy circle. So, and apart from that, if added to that, they have some kind of psychological ailment triggering, like for example, anxiety, or they have some kind of history of depression, then definitely that is an added thing that adds to it. And as a personality, they are not able to share. So, what it is very important that for the surrounding people to at least understand if there is an introvert in the house, to talk to the person and understand what is going on on his or her life in a regular basis. And parents or siblings can do it in the best way, or friends, they can check on the introvert friend more. And apart from that, these days a strong word term has come up known as highly sensitive person. So HSPs also are there, in the they just constitute 20 to 25% of the population, but they are there. And it is said that they are susceptible to suicidal thoughts more, because first thing is that if a small word of somebody reprimanding them, somebody scolding them, that can affect a lot, make a deep impact on their mind, and they can keep thinking about it, and it can affect them so much that they can actually, it might sound a very silly solution situation to a person. They might think that, okay, why did he or she take such a step, but it doesn't actually happen that way. Yeah, so that way, the sensitive person also needs a lot of support. So what we do is that we call them as sissies, or they are always crying, cry babies, and we try to demoralize them by saying all this. And what they do is that they get within themselves and they don't share anything with the world. So that is, these kinds of personalities are also susceptible to psychological problems, and of course to suicidal thoughts. So they need a lot of support. And definitely all kind of personality, even extroverts need that kind of support. Sometimes even maybe they feel that they can share things with everyone, but there are certain innermost thoughts which they cannot share. So as a doctor shared that if they have a good rapport with people and everyone, so it does it can we can help them get out of their shell, and then definitely take them to a psychiatrist and subsequently to a psychotherapist. And that definitely helps. Counseling helps a lot in these cases. So yeah, personality, I think I gave a brief about how personality can affect.
Rightly said, very beautifully mentioned. So, what do you think bullying
Right.
plays what part? Because bullying triggers the youth to commit suicide. So, how can this
Yes,
aspect
yes.
be taken care of?
Yeah, definitely. One thing is that even every child, because since as a doctor said that we are focusing on young adults because they are committing suicide, and even adults, they need to be told what bullying is. A lot of clients and a lot of young adults or adults or people, they don't know what bullying is all about. So even if they are being bullied, they don't understand that how to deal with it. So bullying, a characteristic of a bully is that they feel very good when the other person is being bullied. If they say something to a person and the person reacts negatively or starts crying or goes away from the situation, it gives a personal boost to their self-esteem. So if the children or the adults, they're taught beforehand that not to bow down in front of the bully, to actually if they're saying something, to give it back to them. If they're made that strong, then definitely that can help the bully not indulge in such a behavior further. So we must have seen, and I have seen in my personal counseling sessions, when a person is being bullied, when they are bullied, what they are said is that they are blamed about a lot of things, maybe their personality or their way of speech or how they deal with people is being questioned. And what they do is they take it as it is, and they don't retaliate, or they don't say anything, they don't say things back. So what happens is that that gives a courage to the bully. So they need to be taught, these people, that don't get bowed down so easily in front of the bully, or at least give it back to them, or at least don't show that you're being affected by their emotional bullying that they're doing. So what will happen is that they can this can at least it can stop the bully from further bullying the person. And then the person who's been bullied can definitely share what is happening with his friends or with his family members, or if they are not comfortable, they can go to a therapist and share, because definitely professional, they will get a professional help, and they will get a proper way to deal with the situation, and they will get that emotional support as well.
One more question, that sometimes
Yes,
smaller things also triggers the most, and overthinking is a major
yes,
cause. So what are your views? Because today's generation, they make actually mountain out of that small beat. So how
molehill,
can we
yeah,
stop?
exactly.
Correct. So how can we stop overthinking, or what are your views on that?
Yeah, so one thing is that it is our mind that creates a lot of, dysfunctional thoughts. And if we give, credence to such thoughts, definitely it leads to overthinking. Okay, so there are lots of, cognitive errors that are there, like, such as black and white thinking, in which we are thinking that, okay, something worse has happened with me. So, they feel that, that this is the end of the world. So, with suicidal clients, this is the main thing that happens. They are thinking in black and white. They think of a situation as an extreme level that cannot be rectified. So what they do is that they indulge in overthinking issue problem, and then that overthinking leads to extreme mood issues, and then it definitely leads to suicidal ideation, the thoughts, and it aggravates. So the first thing is to stop the thought flow only at the first go. So one thing is that we can always identify when we are overthinking, when we think that, okay, when we feel that there are lots of thoughts coming to our mind, first thing we can command our brain to stop, because when we give commands to our brain, it definitely, it has been researched also that it listens to us if we are able to train our mind in that way. So it won't happen in a day or two, but if we practice, we can do that. If we command our brain to stop overthinking, and then we can replace it with some other distracting, work or anything which we like to do. For example, maybe we like playing music, or maybe we like talking to friends. So once we distract our mind, then that overthinking will definitely vanish at that point of time. And later on, when we come back to it, we might think that, oh, this was such a big deal that I made out of it. Like, it was not that much. So, this is one of the distraction method really helps. And another method that helps is that writing things down. Whatever the overthinking problem is, they can journal and write down whatever the feelings are coming. And then, they will eventually feel that the thoughts is coming down on paper, and they can just leave it there and come back to it later on when they're in a better mood. And when they again read the same thing, a lot of, I've tried it with my clients as well, they feel that, oh yes, this was not that big a deal I was making. So, or they can also reach to some solutions that, okay, these are the problems that I have, and maybe when I'm in a calm mind, I can come back to it. So, these are the major two steps they can take while, they are overthinking, because overthinking definitely creates a lot of bad thoughts, and basically who are susceptible to psychological illnesses, like, those who have anxiety already, those who are already depressed, or those who are feeling even stressful situations, even they have this. So they can identify the thoughts, that what I'm thinking is actually true, or is it based on evidence, or it is just made up thing in my mind.
Very
So
right.
they can question themselves regularly.
Very right,
Yes.
Mrs.
So
Datta. Very aptly insightful information given by you, that we can write that down and we can later
ex-
revisit that paper.
yes.
Or correct, correct.
Review, yes, yes,
Very rightly given
exactly,
insight. I'm sure this
right.
will be very helpful to all our participants. Datta, can we have a one concluding statement from you for all our participants to boost up their self confidence and self esteem?
Yeah, one thing is that, see, yeah, boosting self-esteem. So self-esteem is something which we all deal with at some point of time. We all feel low. So in those times, we need to remind ourselves of our strength. So one thing is that they can always, remind themselves by standing in front of a mirror. That is also a very good exercise, in which you, look at yourself eye to eye, and, you talk to yourself about the basic, good things or the good qualities that you possess, and give a good boost, that gives a good boost to yourself, right? And another thing that they can do is, the participants and all listening, they can do is that they can, engage in certain tasks every day which they really love to do, and which they feel is it's a bit difficult also. They can try some difficult tasks every day, which according to them is difficult. And if they accomplish it, for example, maybe a simple task like, solving a puzzle or playing a Sudoku, or maybe, trying a new instrument. Maybe that is a bit of a difficult thing to try every day, but they can try drawing, painting, anything which they feel is not of their comfort zone. If they try it, I won't say every day, even if they try it weekly also, that also can really help them, building their and keeping their self-esteem intact. And also another thing I would like to mention is that they should, interact with positive people around them who actually try to boost their strength, because there are a lot of people around us who are very complaining, and those who always take out problem behavior in everything that we do. Like they might say that, okay, you participated in this, but it's not a big deal. You could have done it later on. They try to demoralize you. So first, identify people around you who are trying to demoralize you. And if you think that they are not worth it, then you should cut them off, because sometimes we feel bad that that person will feel bad if I cut him or her off from my circle, or if I'm not very much interactive with that person. So don't think like that. If you can politely withdraw from that person and invest more time on people who really boost your energy and your confidence. So every day, if you're surrounding yourself with such people, you're engaging in some positive activities every day. So this is kind of a constant motivation that you will get, that you are doing better. And every day, at the end of the day, one thing is that you can write what you have accomplished throughout the day. If you have accomplished even a small task which you felt was really worth mentioning, then you can write it down, and then you can see that after a month you can just check and see what all good things that you've done, and it really helps you continue your efforts further, and definitely keeps your self esteem intact. So these are the few ways I feel one can indulge in having a good or maintaining their self esteem.
Very
Yes.
nice insights. I'm sure that these insights are helpful for our participants to boost our self confidence in front of a mirror and spread positivity and
Yes.
surround ourselves with positive people. Very brightly said. I'm very thankful to all our speakers for being here with us on such a short notice and giving such a beautiful session. I'm grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
having
Tanya.
us
Thank you,
here. Yeah,
everyone. Thank you,
thanks.
Dr. Shiva
Thanks
and Dr.
everyone.
Shyamolima.
Hi guys, I hope you're liking our videos and the content we are posting. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, because we are going to be coming with a lot of more content related to psychology and mental health, and we are going to be posting every week. So stay tuned.